The former president made those assertions while appearing on his weekly program, The Public Interest, which is usually broadcast on the APNU AFC's Facebook page, as well as other platforms every Friday. The former president stated that Ghana has signed on to a number of conventions at the United Nations, committing to combating transnational crimes, and it has similar agreements with Brazil and other CARICOM member states.
So we do have agreements with our whole CARICOM community. And we do have agreements with the biggest country on the continent, Brazil, a country with which we have the longest of our three frontiers. The question is, why hasn't Guyana been implementing the agreements which it signed?
Granger posited during the course of the program that it was surprising to him that as soon as the incumbent administration ascended to office, it dismantled the National Anti-Narcotics Agency, NANA, which was far more capable than the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, at suppressing issues relating to transnational crime.
It is impossible for CANU to suppress narcotics trafficking with its limited manpower, its limited assets over this whole country.
The former president is asserting that the administration should have added more resources to NANA, as may have been necessary to boost its capability at addressing such issues. Granger went on to state that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which would usually oversee the agreements and treaties which the country is party to, should play a greater role in ensuring that the subject agencies are enforcing the policies signed on to in those agreements. He highlighted the Ministry of Home Affairs in this instance.
It means that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is not supervising and calling the other ministries to book. Similarly, we have the Ministry of Home Affairs. Well, you don't keep a country safe by, blaming people for, blaming political activists for fires and other offenses. You solve the problems.
While highlighting that transnational crimes is the biggest impediment to development in the country, Granger asserted that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs need to be strengthened to ensure that the country is fulfilling its international obligations, that the Ministry of Home Affairs also needs strengthening and to stop casting blame on others, and that the government need to assure that it is fulfilling its international obligations in accordance with the conventions, treaties, and other agreements it has signed on to.
This is the way we're going to overcome transnational crime, by having stronger ministries of foreign affairs and home affairs, and having a government which is committed to fulfill its obligations on the United Nations Convention, on the CARICOM security strategy, and the agreements we make with friendly countries like Brazil.
Transnational crimes are violations of law which usually involve more than one country in their planning, execution, or impact. These crimes can be grouped into three broad categories involving the provision of illicit goods, such as drug trafficking, trafficking in stolen property, weapons trafficking, and counterfeiting; illicit services, such as commercial sex and human trafficking; and infiltration of business and government, such as fraud, racketeering, money laundering, and corruption, which usually affects multiple countries. Wendell Badrie for the HGP Nightly News.